Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Your Block podcast. I'm sitting here with Ian, Thomas, and my name is Sam. So, anyone want to start off with a conversation topic?
Yeah, this is episode 3 of our podcast. I guess I'm going to start off with my experience at the Ottawa Red Blacks game last weekend. I went to see them play the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and we were victorious, but the game is not what I would like to talk about. It was actually this drunken guy who was sitting behind me. So this guy, I swear to God, the entire game he had tops like 3 beers, but he was gone. Okay, he
was one of those Sam guys, the one sip of beer drunk.
Okay.
So what he was doing was, he was doing many things, but like the main thing that he was doing was he was pointing out people and making fun of them in very like weird ways. Like there was a guy sitting directly in front of him who was wearing like striped socks, and this was the guy who was sitting right beside me. Keep in mind, so the guy was sitting right beside me. The guy comes over our shoulders and he points down at the guy's socks, and he's like, "Hey, look at this guy's stupid socks." What a loser! And he did other stuff like that. Like there was a bald guy sitting a row in front of me, and he'd go over our shoulders and then point at the guy's bald head and be like, "Oh my God, everyone, look at this guy's bald head. What a loser." And he kept touching the back of my head, like he would like rub my head.
What?
I don't know. So that was my experience at the Red Blacks game. It wasn't too bad. It was funny for a while. He chugged a couple of beers, like he shotgunned one, and then he chugged another one, and then he just drank another one normally. So maybe it was the speed at which he was drinking these beers, because as far as I can tell, he only drank like 3 or 4 tops.
Yeah, no, it was probably just the speed he drank, though.
Because
Shotgunning beers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man. Yeah, drunken idiots are never a fun thing at, like, organized sports games. It's just horrible. It's just not fun.
Yeah.
Because the moment you say something to them, it's on. There's going to be a fight.
All right, fuck you, man. I'm not drunk. Something like that. Those goddamn...
Thought this was America.
You gotta try and get seats in the 100s if you want to be with the civilized folk.
Yeah.
Hey, remember back in the day we went to, was it a 67s game? Where there were those kids all the way in the back, like in literally the back row.
Yeah.
Nosebleeders.
The nosebleed seats, yeah.
And they're just... What are they yelling? Hairy coconut. Pine... No, banana.
Pickle. They'd yell pickle. And they just kept yelling it, and yeah, those were some drunken idiots.
Yeah.
And Sam and I were like 10, 11, 12 at this point in our lives, so we weren't used to being around drunken people. So
yeah, it was pretty interesting.
It was interesting to watch. Just these guys yell pickle
in $10 seats.
In their $10 seats, yeah.
I guess that makes sense, though. If you buy the $10 seats, you have more money to spend on beer.
Yeah. I guess if you spend more money on your beer, you have a more likely chance of being drunk. Sorry, that sentence did not make sense. That sentence did not make sense because I was trying to do something with my phone because it went off and you probably heard the vibration, and sorry about that.
Well, no, you could redeem that because more expensive beer, it's better quality, better filtration, and the alcohol goes through your system. Yeah, okay.
I feel like at these games they literally just use Molson Canadian.
Yeah, just
shitty. It's not...
It's not the worst beer.
It's not the worst, but it's down there.
Lower on the list, definitely.
Yeah, like there was this one of the concession guys is walking around with like one of these beer bins where they carry the beers and they sell them to people in the crowd. And this guy was carrying around Stella Artois, and I was like, no. These are the cheap seats. Bring out the Molson, bring out the Canadian, and we'll have a great time. But no one was buying Stella. A lot of people were buying Keith's, actually, myself included. But yeah, that was my experience at the Red Blacks game. Anyone else have anything interesting going on?
I was in traffic in a company vehicle working for my job company, and I saw a squirrel get run over like 2 feet from where I was, and it just exploded. Like this was an 18-wheeler truck, and it just
Yeah.
the squirrel exploded, and it was actually kind of horrifying.
That
Disgusting.
That reminds me of that time. Do you remember when we were in the car with Chris and we were driving down Uplands and there was a squirrel running across the road and Chris is just driving and we're like 500 meters away and Chris is just going, "Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare." And then right as we're going by, he cuts back in front of the car and it's just like, "You fucking dared. You fucking piece of shit."
I think squirrels are like, they're stupid, man.
They're
They'll dart back and forth across the road
yeah.
before a car comes.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know.
No. It seems like they only do it when cars are coming.
I know.
I think they're adrenaline junkies. I think squirrels actually get a kick out of like almost losing their lives. So they'll run out into the middle of the street, almost get themselves killed. But then they'll dart out of the way and they'll go back onto the lawn or something and they'll be like, "Hey, you know what? I'm a badass."
Yeah, I'm gonna go tell their buddies.
Gotta check out how many cars I dodged today.
Yeah. And Marcos, you see me dodge that Ford over there? It was great. It was the best experience ever.
Yeah, so I guess
You should go try it. Frig gets run over by a car.
I mean, you see roadkill on the road so much, but like I guess actually seeing it happen is a little bit traumatizing.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Being in the vehicle that did it would it be worse? I don't know, because you feel yourself hit something, you go to dudush. Would that be worse than actually seeing the animal get destroyed by another vehicle? Or
I feel like it would be worse to see it happen.
Mhm.
Because if you're driving the car that hit the squirrel or whatever, you can just go, "Well, that was a stupid fucking animal."
yeah,
And like just not feel anything about it.
that's true. But
then if you're watching it, you're just like,
Ew.
"Oh, that's what that looks like."
Ew.
yeah,
it
but then
was
you
gross.
stop your car and you get out of your vehicle and you look down at your front wheels.
And it's
Because
just
you
nasty.
see some nasty
Oh.
guts inside the grills in your tires, and it's. So how would you feel about that then? That was sort of more of my point. Would you rather clean up a dead animal off your tires, or
there was
just watch another car run over one?
There was that one time my mom was actually driving through to Shannon's house, and I don't know who else was in the car with us, but she hit a cat, and the cat didn't die, but she definitely
like
hit the
she
cat.
just got the tail or something,
No, I think it's more
or like sort of just slid off the bumper.
like it was going to run across the street, and it like hit the side of the tire. And I think it must have run over some part of the cat. Like there was no blood on the car or anything, but my mom was she was freaking out because my mom's a cat person.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was in the car. And I was freaked out because I thought it might have been one of Shannon's cats, because
God.
I think at that point Shannon did have 4 cats, so like, and they were all always outside, so the likelihood of it being one of those 4 cats, there's some good odds there. It's, we're in the neighborhood, so.
Yeah. Sorry, Shannon.
Did not turn out to be any of the cats, though.
No.
Probably someone else's cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it's alive. It went home to tell the tale.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that.
Yep.
So you guys went to see Gone Girl, how's that?
It was a fantastic movie, and Jesus Christ,
Superb.
bitches be crazy.
Yeah, hearing a lot of good things, like,
Ugh,
it's gonna be the first, like, Oscar contender.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh no, if she doesn't get nominated for Best Actress, the Oscars can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I hear
from
she-
now on.
Go fuck.
I hear she's like a shoo-in to be best lead actress.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Not maybe
Wait,
not
oh,
win.
nominated.
Nominated at least. Nominated
Oh my
at
god,
least.
if she doesn't,
Yeah.
holy crap.
Would-
And like Ben Affleck, no, he's not getting nominated.
He still played a really good. Like his part
like,
was good. In
he
that
was
movie.
good.
He did really well.
I'd like to go on a tangent about Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Here a little bit. People need to understand the difference between a bad actor and a bad movie.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Ben Affleck is really good.
He's a very...
He's really good. he was paid $50 million to do Daredevil. It's like, why turn that down?
And see, the thing is, when people get angry about Ben Affleck these days, all of their examples are like pre-2005 movies that they bring up.
But then it's literally he had like a falling from grace between 2000 and 2005, because everything before 2000 and everything after 2005 was great.
Yeah, like he went through this rough patch like a lot of actors and directors do, but like now he is Oscar every time he does anything, he's at the Oscars in some capacity. Like Argo, he directed, won Best Picture. And he didn't win the Oscar for Best Director, but he was the Directors Guild in America that year. He was the best actor of like all the directors. So it's like the Guild of Directors, they come together and they decide who is the best director this year, and they actually awarded it to Ben Affleck of all people. So
yeah,
I actually haven't seen Argo yet.
No,
it's
like I've only heard
good
things, but it's one of those. I know it's good, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Kind of like. Half of the stuff Ian recommends to me.
Yeah.
Like Legend of Korra, How to Train Your Dragon, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so speaking of Korra, but like it just made me think of animation. We're getting to Oscar season now, and we're starting to see some more animated movies come out. Do you think any of these animated movies that are coming out could top Lego Movie or How to Train Your Dragon? Big Hero 6, Box Trolls, and I think there's one other one.
I hope Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6, you think that?
I really want to see that.
I'm still going for How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're biased towards that.
That's
like
that's a total bias because the first movie was my favorite movie ever.
Okay.
And then the second movie, I thought it was way better than the first one. So now it's my favorite movie ever. And yeah, so
you sort of have a buy. I think Big Hero 6 is going to...
But I will say I liked Gone Girl more than How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Really?
I thought it was a way better movie.
Yeah, it was a really fantastic
movie.
movie.
My god.
Well, I guess I will have to check that out. I've been very behind on my movies. I've been doing other things like writing reviews and whatever. No, but as I was saying, I think Big Hero 6 has a good chance. It's getting a lot of buzz right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are really curious to see it. And it's sort of... It is Marvel, but at the same time, it's not Marvel. They're trying to disassociate it from Marvel as much as possible, I guess. I don't know why. Because, like... I guess they don't want people to think it's in the same universe as, like...
The Marvel cinematic.
But it's... Yeah. You can easily do that. I think they're not giving the audience enough credit. But if you just say it's Marvel related, then automatically I think you add like $20 million to your box office. Because people they'll eat up anything Marvel these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, also, I think Box Trolls has a really good shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't heard anything bad about that movie from anyone I've talked to about it, / reviews on YouTube that I've watched.
Yeah.
Literally, I haven't heard anything bad about it. I heard it was enjoyable. I heard it was... it's definitely in the top 5 animated movies of the year.
Yeah. I think they just need to scrap the best animated category, because the only reason they made the best animated category at the Oscars was because there's all this controversy about animated movies being nominated for Best Picture because they're animated.
Yeah.
And at that time, Pixar was like putting out freaking like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, just shit that's like...
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Best movie.
Like critically...
They never won.
Critically speaking,
they never won.
Toy Story is the best reviewed trilogy of all time.
Yeah. No, they really are.
They are.
On
Toy
Rotten
Story.
Tomatoes, Toy Story 1, 99%, Toy Story 2, 100%, and Toy Story 3, 99%.
It is, yeah.
That's
the best
better than
reviewed trilogy.
Lord of the Rings, that's better than Bourne, that's better than
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
That's better than any other trilogy ever created.
That's better than any other series
Yeah.
ever.
So Toy Story basically shits on the two like holy trilogies of geekiness.
Yeah.
Star
Yeah.
Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So more people should be worshipping Toy Story from now on.
Well, I feel like everyone does worship Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
kind of impossible
it's
not to.
great. It's a great. They're all three of them are great movies.
So like when you put out that quality and then you start seeing it not getting nominated for Best Picture, it
Yeah.
starts to raise a lot of flags. So they made this Best Animated category, which is stupid because there's like fucking 10 animated movies a year. So you're getting nominated, your odds of winning it, like Frozen. It was a good movie, but like if you put it,
Oh,
it was
best
good.
animated of
It was-
that year. Really?
Like what else? What was its competition last year? Like Despicable Me 2 and like The Croods. Like so, it had no competition. It was. It shouldn't
I
have
guess
won.
so.
It did not deserve an Oscar.
They
But
they should and like
it had no competition because there was no good animated movies last year.
they should have.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
No, The Wind Rises.
I did not see that.
The Wind Rises should have won.
Of it.
The Wind Rises.
It's the last Ghibli movie by what's his face.
Guy-
Is that even, would that apply to
Yeah.
the Oscars?
Yeah.
It's applicable?
It's animated.
Yeah.
Like anything, like from any country. So like anime movies can be nominated for Best Animated Picture.
Huh. See, I never knew that.
No,
No, I never really watched the Oscars or anything like that.
but like the Academy doesn't. They're not big on like anime. But they love him. Anything he does, like they're always paying attention.
Yeah.
What was the fucking one he won for?
Spirited Away.
Spirited
That was
Away
a good
And
won Best Picture.
Spirited Away was the year. Was it the year before they added Best Animated Feature,
No, it was like it
or
was
was
one of the
ye-
first.
It was the year of, or something.
It won Best Animated Picture. That's all I know.
Yeah, because like it was just in one of those years where like if it was a part of Best Picture, it probably would have won.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't
what
know,
won 2004?
2000. I think was that The Return of the King.
No, that was 2003.
2003. What the fuck won 2004 then?
I have no idea.
The Departed? I don't know.
Google.
No, Departed was 2006.
Okay, well then fuck. I need to. Okay, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna Google this.
Okay.
But like
Google break.
I'm like that's looked at as one of the greatest movies of all time.
Spirited Away.
Yeah.
It was pretty fantastic.
It was
I liked
great,
it.
but I wouldn't call it
I
one of the
think
best of all
It's
time.
partially hype too.
Yeah.
Like people overhype things way too much nowadays.
Yeah.
Or
I feel like
At
it
all times.
is overhyped, but like
it's still a great
but like
movie.
shit.
Don't get
It's
us wrong.
great.
Fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah.
It was Return of the King, 2004. Yeah,
2004.
Spirited Away was not
Okay.
beating Return of the King.
Nope. Nope,
Um,
sorry. I lied. I lied.
Fucking do that.
Probably would have been
Shame.
second place though, if there was a second place.
Yeah.
Second place at the Oscars.
Well, there kind of is because like you can see momentum behind movies going into like the Oscars. Like, 12 Years a Slave won Best Picture last year, but everyone sort of knows that the runner-up was McConaughey's movie,
Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club. Like, so that was sort of people were talking about. It's a coin toss between those two movies, so you can
Yeah.
kind of consider that second place.
I honestly feel like every year there's that coin toss where it's literally it's one or the other.
Yeah. This year, I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet. It doesn't come out till next month, but like people are saying it's going to be Interstellar by like a mile because you look at what's coming out and there doesn't seem to be too much.
Yeah.
But, you know, there could always be a surprise. Like maybe Locke gets a nomination.
Maybe.
'Cause
Maybe
if
Tom
nothing
Hardy.
good, if nothing good comes out in the next couple months, then they'll start looking at shit that came out back in like May and April,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, well, that was really good, and there's nothing that great out in fall, so we'll nominate Locke or someone.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if Locke gets nominated for maybe a Best Actor. Or,
Tom Hardy should be nominated. Best Picture, maybe not, but Tom Hardy, Best Lead for Locke this year, I think he should.
He sold a movie about talking to people on the phone in a car.
Just driving for an hour and a half.
He's literally just driving for an hour and a half.
Talking to people.
What movie is this?
Locke.
Locke.
Huh.
Because the character's last name is Locke. And
Yeah.
he's driving somewhere. You don't really know where he's driving at first. But he's getting all these phone calls first from like, because he has to be somewhere for work the next day to do like this big thing at work. But he says he can't make it, so he's telling this guy he has to fill in for him. And then he's getting calls from his wife and stuff, and it's just a big shitstorm of things start to begin to happen to him. Like he loses his job, and then other things happen. Won't spoil it, but it's
Boy.
yeah, and he's just
That sounds pretty interesting, actually.
Literally, he's in his car listening to his life fall apart.
like, yeah, so it's basically a guy in a car driving, and you just see his life go from, like, he's living a good life. He knows he's in trouble with something, but his life just falls to shambles in this hour and a half car drive.
Yeah.
And he's just talking to people on the phone.
Oh.
So you're going to watch that movie now, I bet.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to look that up. I actually want to see that.
And it's Tom Hardy, the guy who played Bane. He was, Four Roses, but, no, this guy is easily one of the best actors right now. Easily.
Oh, man. So good.
So,
And I'm super hyped to see him on Peaky Blinders.
What's Peaky Blinders?
It's a BBC show that came out 2013,
Okay.
but it's got a bunch of great like Shakespearean actors in it, but most notably it has Cillian Murphy in it as the main character. And basically it's gang wars in England and Ireland after the First World War. So all these war vets have come back, they've got nothing, and basically they're trying to just survive by living off the streets. And basically people make gangs built around it, and shit goes down. And it's very good. It's tied for TV shows that I love. It's tied for number 2 with Breaking Bad.
what's your one?
Number 1, Luther.
Luther's your favorite show of all time?
Luther is my
Wow.
favorite show of all time.
What's Luther about?
Luther is Idris Elba as like not a corrupt cop, but really a cop that doesn't care about the rules.
He's a loose renegade cop.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Is he on the edge?
He's on the edge.
He's on the edge.
It's a pretty good show, actually. It's BBC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And so it's like an English cop it's Idris Elba. That's all you need to know. It's a good show, actually. I would say, I'm actually surprised to hear it's your number 1, but yeah. It's a very good show.
Oh, I love that show. And I think, what's her face? Rose is the best villain ever in TV history. Like, and she's not even a villain right now. She's just there, and she's becoming this love interest, and it's just like, but she's literally your arch nemesis at the same time, but she is so good. She is so good.
I'm trying to think of some TV villains. You can only really think of movie ones, but who are some good TV villains, guys?
Heisenberg.
Actually, yeah.
I still think of him as a bad guy.
Technically speaking, it is this seamless transition from like your protagonist into an antagonist, and you hardly notice it happen throughout the show.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I actually agree with you. I think Heisenberg, Walter White, is probably, in my opinion, the best TV villain of all time.
He's definitely up there in my list. Let's see. Let's try and think of
Who's your number 7?
my
Right
number.
now, on the dot. Tell us.
My num-
Without thinking about it.
Yeah, just tell us your number 7.
My
Go.
number 7 most evil person in TV.
Yeah, like Hitler.
Shit.
Your number 7
Uh,
Hitler.
Ozai, Fire Lord Ozai.
Okay. But, yeah, okay, that's TV, yeah. Okay.
Squidward from SpongeBob
That son
SquarePants.
of a bitch.
Squidward, Plankton.
Oh man. Yep, you've definitely grown up when you wake up one morning and you totally realize that you can empathize perfectly with Squidward.
Yeah.
That is when you know you're an adult. Everything
Squidward.
you understand where he's coming from perfectly.
And you start to hate SpongeBob
Yeah.
because you realize what a little shit he really was.
Yeah. Like you would not like he's so lovable and joyful through it when you're watching him as a kid, but like you watch him now and it's like, holy shit, I would also really hate living next to this guy.
When we watched him 3 years ago, I still loved him, but now
Well, actually,
now I'm just sort of like, if you were real
Have you
and living next door to me, oh,
Have you guys watched any of these kids TV stations recently, like YTV, Teletoon? Like
I
not
have
not even like Teletoon at night, but like Teletoon during the day or like YTV during the day. It's like
no, not really.
it is so drastically different than from when we were kids because like the interests of kids have changed so much. Like when we were kids, like the big thing was like anime and like you'd have Pokemon and Digimon and Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh! And these shows would be on prime time.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, okay?
Inuyasha.
And yeah,
Okay.
no, Inuyasha was in prime time because it was a little bit more violent, but it was
Yeah,
on
it was
there.
on.
Yeah, it was like what, 8 o'clock?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
They
8
have to watch
o'clock.
freaking
It was
Inuyasha.
8 o'clock, followed by Naruto.
Yeah, so we'd have those shows, and those would be like the prime time thing. Now when you watch it, it's like these singing shows, and like it's really about music and pop culture
And
and
happiness and just togetherness and no adventure.
yeah, it's like who can be the best singer and like boy band stuff. It's a bunch of kids in high school who start a boy band or something, and it's stuff like that. So it's I'm not gonna say that it's worse or better than what we watched.
No,
but
man, it's worse.
It's
It's
worse.
worse.
it's definitely
it's-
worse. But it's like our parents telling us that their stuff was better than ours. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's each generation has their own interests.
Well, chances are their stuff was better than ours. Like
I don't know,
I
man.
feel
you
like
can't beat Digimon was the shit.
But no, even
Yeah.
because you watch older cartoons, the ones that were on before we were alive. You watch like Transformers was technically on before we were alive. Looney Tunes is always going to be great,
Yep.
but Transformers, I have fond memories of it because I watched it as a kid on like VHS. As I'd go over to like Rogers Video, rent a VHS, and I'd watch like the Transformers, and then I watched them again recently because I wanted to see Grimlock. And the show's fucking stupid, okay?
Yeah, it's really dumb.
The original Transformers is an awful show. The animation is terrible. The dialogue is terrible.
it's just as good as the movies.
Yeah.
Hey,
So people shit on all these movies saying that, it's not as good as the cartoons. It is. I will argue right now that the Michael Bay movies are 10 times better than the original cartoons.
they actually
See?
are. They're really good.
For someone coming from the side of, oh my god, all the Transformers movies except for the first ones were absolute shit. Maybe not even the actual shit, like the stain that was left behind.
The residue left from the shit. That's what they are. They're not even as good
Yeah.
as the shit.
They're not good enough to be a part of the shit.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to argue with Thomas on this one that the cartoon is a disaster.
Yeah.
It is
Transformers
a
G1
disaster.
Transformers G1 was actually pretty bad. It's just people associate it with all that nostalgia.
Yeah,
They're like,
exactly.
oh man, Transformers so cool.
And then people complain because the following generations were technically better. They were better animated and there was some like better dialogue, but they disassociate it with the first generation because they have that nostalgia for the first generation. But the first generation is horseshit, people. It is a bad cartoon.
It's so bad.
Ugh.
It's so bad.
But I mean, we have like that nostalgia for Pokemon, the animated series, like the first generation, like Ash, Brock, and Misty out on their adventure.
Yeah.
But if you
That went to shit after that.
yeah, but if you it recently went on Netflix and everyone was all excited because, you know, Ash, Brock, and Misty, oh my god, it's on Netflix now. We'll binge watch Pokemon.
Yeah,
and it's like
kind of sucks.
it sucks now.
Yeah, but
So-
still, like the first season of Digimon, it was actually legitimately good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
Like,
really
The third
good.
I can
season was too.
Yeah, third season probably.
Third
the
season
best.
was probably the best
Arguably,
season.
Arguably,
I can
of course.
rewatch Digimon seasons 1 to 3 now, and
Yeah.
it'll be just as good. At 4, I
Yeah.
fell off. It's like I don't like how
Yeah.
they become Digimon.
Well,
But
when the guy starts punching Digimon in the face, that was like season 5,
oh yeah,
and it just got really stupid. I didn't even watch 4 that much.
4.
Like an episode here and there, I was like, oh yeah, this is really cool. Let's
The
do
best thing
something
about
else.
4 was their toy Digivices, because I remember we really got into those.
Yeah, those were awesome.
Yeah,
It's like
the
great
best thing
sticks.
about them though was that they were the only Digivices that could like were compatible with the second generation Digivices. So, and that's the one I had. I still had my second generation Digivice because I was all like, you know, this is the only one where I can get Vmon. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Other shows like that are sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Beyblade, where like the first seasons were really entertaining, and then it was just like, what happened?
no man, Beyblade was. I think Beyblade was kind of stupid all the way through. Even as a kid, I thought the show
It was
dumb.
stupid, but I thought it was
Really?
entertaining.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it
entertaining,
was,
but just
super
like,
entertaining.
This is a world based around tops, guys.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
okay, but there's other worlds where people are playing cards.
Yeah, totally. Because you can
With
send
how-
people to the Shadow Realm.
I
No,
think
Yu-Gi-Oh was dumb too.
didn't Beyblades have like sort of a Shadow Realm? I thought like the final season.
Mm-mm.
No, not
No,
the
I
final.
know what you're talking about. They went to like another
Where-
dimension and the guy grew
Yeah.
wings and shit. And I'm like, what?
Okay,
How was
maybe
this?
it wasn't a Shadow Realm, but it was like I know there's some like interdimensional shit happening in Beyblades. I sort of like.
I didn't watch
because...
through to that.
No,
No, I stopped watching after season 3, I think.
no, this was the first season though. Like
That was the first. No.
at the end of the
Really?
first season where Tyson was fighting this. Fuck, I can't remember now.
Trigger, go!
But it was like the world championships, and he was battling someone. And there was like ice or something. I cannot remember this because
Oh, was it the guy with what's it called? Shit, I know what you're talking about. The whale bit beast. And it was like Wayward
and I thought
or
they
something.
and maybe my memories of Yu-Gi-Oh and Beyblade are mixing right now. But I swear to God, I think they went into like some sort of parallel dimension or something in their battle. I don't know, but Ray was the best. Fuck Kai. He was only cool because he was edgy and dark and mysterious.
Sasuke.
Stupid character. Ray was the best.
Yeah. Tyson was he was like mentally retarded. Tyson was so stupid.
every anime protagonist from our childhood had the exact same personality. Okay, they were dumb shits who liked eating. Okay,
Yeah.
and training too much. Okay, Ash, fucking Goku. No, Yugi wasn't like that.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's sort of more Joey.
Yeah. Yeah, Yugi was the exception to that rule.
Mm-hmm. But they were mostly all the same. Sam's parents are home.
I don't know if we can hear that.
I don't think we can.
Maybe or maybe not. I don't know.
If you hear a Caribbean accent in the background, you'll know.
Not Jamaican. Not Jamaican.
Not Jamaican.
No.
Trinidadian.
Jamaican what's shaking. Oh, I. We need to get some chairs in here, man.
Yeah.
We do.
Like we've got this. This is from the basement. We've got Thomas. You're sitting on one of those shitty folding chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Ian's sitting on my computer chair, and that's like it.
Well,
And it's just depressing. It's depressing.
we have a visitor. It is Brule. Joining the podcast right now is
Yeah.
Chris Brule. He's come in with his little bag. It's probably holding a camera.
And his stash.
Doing exactly that, and all my stash.
Beautiful
from the Mad
beard.
Gang.
And I'm gonna toss this chair over to him.
This is so dark.
Oh yeah, someone hit that light.
Oh.
You just missed our excellent conversation on why Transformers: The First Generation was a piece of shit, and so on.
I'm gonna be honest, I was never super into Transformers, so
No?
I wouldn't have been able to contribute.
Yeah.
I was
okay.
super into Gundam Seed.
Yo, Gundam Seed, when
Gundam
you were like
Seed?
12
When you were, like,
and you're
way
staying up till like
back.
4 a.m., you're like, yeah, Gundam
man,
Seed's so
Kira,
good.
yeah.
Then you grow up and you're like, oh my god, that was like the worst Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kira Yamato, ugh, I gotta save them all, but I also have to bang this chick and then save them all. Ugh.
Oh no, and then the chick dies, and then I get with the chick who is with my best friend.
And it's sort of
When I
like
get
an
the best Gundam.
instant thing.
I know.
It's sort of like, oh no, this girl that I love died.
Well, children
on to the
don't
next
understand
one.
feelings of grief,
No,
so it's
yeah,
okay.
but this is like an adult cartoon in Japan.
Yeah, but it also,
Yeah.
Kind of, yes and no.
it also did have like the saddest scene though when, what's his name, the pilot who pilots the old shitty Gundam dies protecting the ship with the shield.
Oh yeah.
And the captain's
yeah.
like, oh no.
Oh,
That was
man.
probably the best the series got, and then just because like the original Gundam, the entire story behind it is war is shit and war is terrible and you shouldn't do war. And this was like, let's blow everything up. Yeah, fuck yeah, yeah. I've got magical IC
Yeah.
powers,
Yeah.
and that's Gundam Seed.
And the protagonist was a shut-in, and he was really awkward with people, wasn't he?
No, he was actually really good with people.
Amuro?
No,
Amuro was, like,
the original
super
Gundam?
awkward,
Or-
yeah.
oh, okay, I was
He was,
thinking
like,
Seed still.
The weird kid in
Okay,
the back
yeah.
of the class.
Yeah. No, Seed, he was like awesome at absolutely everything
Yeah.
because he was genetically modified or whatever.
Yep.
Oh no,
No,
sorry.
no, wasn't that? No, that was Gundam Wing. You're thinking about?
No, that was Gundam Seed. That was
Seed?
Gundam Seed too. Because the thing was, he had the seed or whatever thing. Because
Oh
he was,
yeah,
he
I
was a
remember what you're talking
coordinator,
about.
That's what they're called. They're called the coordinators.
Yeah, coordinators.
And there was
Cool
like the
people.
normal humans and the coordinators, and there was this big divide because the coordinators were like genetically engineered to be amazing. And then there was like the normal humans who are just like normal humans, and we all kind of suck shit. And so they're like, no, we hate coordinators, and that's where the conflict came from. The coordinators who wrecked the human shit because they're phenomenal, and the humans who are just terrible. And I don't know how this war went on for more than like 5 years. I don't
The coordinators are so much better
because the
So
show
much
still
better.
needed to make money.
Yeah,
Because
and then they had a second season.
and like you could conceivably blend in with the humans as a coordinator, no problem. You couldn't really blend in as a coordinator because you're like, hey, do this thing. I'm shit at this thing. Get the fuck out.
See, that's the problem with shows that don't create their shows to match the longevity that they're hoping for. So a good example right now is Community. It's like the average person goes to college for 4 years, right? So you're handicapping the show right from the premise because how long are they going to stay in school? And they're moving on to like their 5th or 6th season.
It's this.
6
It's
seasons
the
in a movie.
same shit. It's the same shit with like Glee. Like they've been in high school for what, 7 years now, and then they graduate and they're still like a part of the show. No, get gone.
Get gone.
Get gone.
Get good or get gone.
Giving Thomas the hand for that.
Thomas, why are you
Leave
still in high
Thomas.
school?
I've never watched an episode of Glee, but apparently I'm its biggest supporter. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like Degrassi, isn't Degrassi still going on?
The thing with
Yeah, but
Degrassi, though,
it-
is that they actually
changed up the
transition
cast?
people.
Yeah.
Like Drake actually left the show.
Yeah,
I think
Oh, wow.
Drake died. I'm not sure. I never
well,
watched
I know he got
Degrassi.
shot,
died?
but that's about it
No.
because I didn't.
I'm not sure.
Obviously, the
But
urban
they-
character ended up getting shot or something.
No, but they actually do transition characters, and people who are graduate and like never come back to the show.
Yeah.
It's literally just life about.
Unless
this
it's like
high
a
school.
cameo where it's like, oh, my cousin's here now. I've never actually watched the show, so I don't know if any of this happens, but
Yeah, same. That's how I only know. Like
we're
Drake
talking
got
about a show we
shot.
don't know, but
Yeah,
and making a lot of assumptions.
yeah, great dialogue. Let's keep doing
That's
it.
how you do a podcast, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Another show that's not really like that, but Legend of Korra was sort of like that, where after The Last Airbender came out, the creators of The Last Airbender came back to Nickelodeon with this idea of Legend of Korra, and Nickelodeon's just like, a sequel to the greatest show we've ever
Their
ever
highest-
put out. Our highest view show, our highest rated show, a sequel to it. We're not sure how that's gonna go, so we'll give you one season to see how it goes. So they sort of had to do this thing where they had to wrap everything up in a single season. So and like the first season was great, but then it's just like, oh, people still like this? obviously.
How can we continue this and make sense? And
Make
But-
more money.
But like they did it fairly well. It's just like after they finished it in the first season, they sort of had to come back with how the hell are we going to evolve Korra more? So they literally just degenerated her back to the way she was at the beginning of the first season, and it's just like,
so
really?
Evangelion.
Hey, what the fuck did you say?
Yes.
Are you talking about the rebuild movies, or are you talking about the main series?
I'm talking about whatever you showed me, where they had a huge conflict like every 20 minutes to half an hour, and then he would build all this self-confidence and he'd be a new man, and then after that battle he would revert back to a little whiny bitch.
Yeah, the rebuild, the whole series with the new movies, it's shit story-wise.
The
It's just,
rebuild's terrible.
yeah, it's just pretty animation. If you want, like, legitimate character development, you're gonna have to watch the first 25 episodes of that.
Even the first,
Shinji was still a little
he was
bit...
still, he'd
He
still be like,
was.
get in the fucking robot, Shinji. He gets in the robot, wrecks shit, then cries about all the shit he wrecked.
But
I'm
it was-
such a monster.
But it was better somehow.
It
you
was-
can't describe it.
Well, it's because Evangelion, like the original series, maybe it's a lot of fans and myself putting a lot more credence to it than there was, but like, there was a lot of depth to the series, like the original series. This one tried to continue it, but also reboot it,
and it didn't
and like
do well.
it missed every single point that it hit in the first one.
Yeah.
And like, I don't remember. There was some reviewer I read at one point who said like the original series benefited a lot from them running out of a budget at the end, and like
With that shitty ending.
with a really shitty ending because it left like a lot of the imagination instead of it all being like animated and stuff, and like it made the viewer have to extrapolate the information rather than be like, here's all the information. Here, just read this. Just this is how it's going. So I mean, yeah, like the original had depth. The new one is just like, hey, let's watch robots blow shit up and fan service.
Yeah.
So
It's
it
not
became-
very...
Fan service
fulfilling.
is like
It's Evangelion 1.0 and onward is like the Gundam seed of Evangelion.
I like 2 because it kind of set up something new that was supposed
That's
to
true,
be
yeah.
decent, but then 3.0, it's like, hey guys, 14-year time skip.
I didn't see 3.0.
It was pretty. It looked good. It
don't-
looked good.
Don't listen to him. It was trash.
Yeah,
I don't
it- no, it
care.
was bad.
I
It
don't
looked really
care.
nice, but it was shit.
I don't
get me
care
wrong.
if it looked beautiful. It was trash.
well, there's a lot of
You
pretty
can
things
get
out there that
beautiful
suck, Ian.
looking
Yeah. Like your mom.
good things. You can have your red line.
Example.
That's the fucking
Man, so good.
it's having sex
Shut
with
up,
my
let
eyeballs.
Let Thomas say his example.
Yeah.
Example, Sucker Punch. Very
Oh,
good
God.
looking
Yeah.
movie. Very beautiful, like CG, everything looks great, but the movie itself is just, it's shit.
It
Yeah.
has no depth.
So,
it
like-
tries so hard.
So
And
if
very
you like
repetitive.
if you mute the movie
Very.
and you just, maybe create your own little story. It's a good movie. Oh wow.
Okay, so she's walking into the temple.
Yeah.
Like the
They're
big,
gonna be ninjas.
I don't know. The movie could have been decent if it made sense, but it just didn't. It just stopped making sense like instantly. It's like, oh fuck it, whatever. We're gonna fight dragons. Cool. Shut up. Forget about the plot. Just forget about it.
Yeah, because she went into the it was a mental hospital, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she went into the mental hospital, and then she created a fantasy within the mental hospital, and then she
made a
created
fantasy.
fantasies on top of that. It's
And like
What?
whatever happens in each of them trickles down to all three, and it just doesn't.
It doesn't, yeah.
translate
I-
at all.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
really weird.
Inception if it was
Yeah.
written by like my 12-year-old sister having me explain the plot. If my sister was 12.
I feel like that's what they tried to do. They tried to do Inception before Inception and failed miserably
But, like,
at it.
They're like, wait, we can't even. Inception was complicated. Let's make it simple, and then just fucked up at making it simple. They just didn't. They just didn't translate it at all. Let's have a dream within a dream within a dream. It's cool. It's edgy now.
yeah, we're popular. Look at us.
We'll have robots and girls in skirts with
Yeah.
stripper names.
Oh man. We were all really excited for that movie, I remember.
I know.
Yeah.
Kind of like we were for 9 because of that trailer. In
9.
Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria. And
Oh,
it
fuck.
fucking sucked.
Wait,
That's a good example.
because there were like 3 9s in this.
The one with the puppets.
The puppets, the
The one with
animated
the
one.
puppets.
Oh, I watched the short film for that. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be so good. And then it's like Tim Burton's. Was it Tim Burton?
I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
Tim Burton,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure it was Tim Burton's. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Tim Burton, fuck it, this is garbage now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I feel like Tim Burton's really repetitive, and I just don't like it. Like, I can appreciate his work. I just I don't understand the love.
See, I can appreciate his, like, pre-2005 stuff.
Kind of like M. Night Shyamalan.
Anything after that.
M. Night Shyamalan, I do not
Night
understand the
Shyam-
hope people have in this guy. He made like
Okay.
maybe two good movies ever in his career.
He's on a recurve. He's on a recurve.
No, he made 2 good movies ever. But yet we still go see his fucking movies.
Because we know
And
they're gonna
I
suck.
said we shouldn't see After Earth.
To be fair,
I said we should not see it.
To
And
be
you
hon-
guys are just like, oh, it's Will Smith.
To be absolutely
No,
fair,
it's
though,
M. Night Shyamalan.
To be absolutely fair, though, Jaden's tweets really did inspire confidence in that movie.
Okay, look, my hope for that movie was simply because Will Smith was still pretty hot at the time. Okay,
okay. No,
okay.
I'm with you on this one.
He had a lot of creative control in that. He had a lot of creative control with the script, and apparently he did with a lot of other things with production. So I was like, okay, I know this is Shamhammer, but I know it's Shamham, but maybe, just maybe, I rolled the dice on it. It was a piece of shit. I'm sorry for making us go to that.
Do you want to know what I feel happened? I feel like Will Smith tried to fix it without changing anything completely.
I think Will
Sorry,
Smith
and
was also part of the
literally,
problem.
literally, you can't just unshamhammer the
No, I'm sorry,
shamhammer.
you're absolutely wrong there. He had a huge hand in it, and they're not very good at making movies. Sorry,
Okay.
Will Smith's a good actor.
Yeah.
Don't think he's a really good movie creator. He
No.
literally the entire idea for the movie was I want a movie with my son in it. Can we
It
have
is.
a movie with me and my son in it?
Yeah.
And M. Night Shyamalan was like, I'll do it. He's like, what? M. Night Shyamalan was like, let me do it.
It's like Shamhammer and Will Smith are sitting together in a room. It's like, how the fuck do we make Jaden Smith as famous as we are?
Seriously, like I'm pretty sure Will Smith just wants his kids to be super famous, and like that's it. That's why Willow Smith had her song. That's why Jaden Smith's been shoehorned all these movies and shit. That's why his other son, who he doesn't want anyone to remember exists, isn't in the public spotlight.
But honestly, I understand him wanting to build a career for his kids, but like, I think there's a better way of doing it. You know, you can.
He has to let them do it himself.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
They have to build their own name.
You
As
You
opposed
can't
to,
just
this is my
set
daddy, he's
them
famous.
up.
Yeah.
There
And,
are
like-
those kids in high school who you're like, oh, your parents paid for everything? Get the fuck out of my face. Leave. Don't go to university. Pay for it yourself, you ass. And everyone harbors a grudge for them.
It's exactly like that.
Cause let's be real, Jaden Smith needs some acting lessons.
Yeah, he's not the greatest actor.
And Will Smith, if you ever come across this on
He
YouTube,
won't.
fuck you. Fuck
Whoa,
you for
whoa, whoa, whoa,
fuck
whoa,
you
whoa,
for
whoa, don't-
forcing your son into this
He's
shit.
made a couple
Oh.
mistakes there. That
Yeah.
wasn't.
No, I'm
Never say
talking
fuck you to Will
strictly.
Smith.
I'm talking strictly about forcing his son to do things.
Forcing his son to do things. I think Jaden Smith wants to be famous, but
He just doesn't.
he doesn't know how to be famous. He is stupid
Like-
with his Twitter account. He's stupid in movies.
I
Okay,
think it's like a huge thing about how he was like born rich and like he's literally like silver spoon kind of thing. He just doesn't understand the world and he's immature still and he just needs to like grow up. He's,
Exactly.
Like, I swear to God, if I was his age and like I was in his position, I'd probably tweet the same fucking bullshit all the time. And like if you ever watch interviews, like Will encourages him. He's like, "What is nothing? What is everything?" Will's like, "Yeah, go on. You're so deep." And like, Will just punch him.
Will.
Tell him he's being retarded.
Beat your kids.
don't. You don't even need to hit him. Just be like, shut the fuck up.
I
And then
think-
move on.
I think that's what I was trying to get with. That, like, he should not be encouraging
Yeah.
his
Personality.
personality.
Dude, don't be yourself.
Just stop.
Jaden, you have to
Like-
change yourself almost completely.
Yeah.
But,
you
like-
want to reach for hours.
But, like, please, Will, give him a few acting lessons, and then put him back out there in something you're not a part of.
I'd say make him have like a real job for a couple of years and like let him grow up and then let him try again.
Yeah.
Make him move out of the house.
No, seriously, because
Make-
Will Smith
make him
is like
move
one
out
of
of
the
the house.
greatest actors today.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing with acting.
and-
Definitely.
He is. He really is. And it's because he came from nothing. He worked hard for what he
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
He had subpar music career, but he gave us a couple of good hits. Okay, Welcome to Miami.
Hey, yeah,
getting jiggy with it. Okay,
definitely. Those are some songs I jammed out to those.
It was his.
Yeah, well, those are him.
Now I know.
And he's a very good actor. But it's because he had to work for all that. Jaden Smith is coming. He was born into that success, and he didn't have to work as hard for it. So it's hard for him to get that same. What's the word I'm looking for? It's hard for him to find that same footing into the world.
Yeah.
Like his dad did.
Because like if you don't have to work as hard for something, you're not going to, and you're not going to be as good as someone who does. It's like the people who are like, oh yeah, like, I did a 90 and I didn't even try on my tests. Where are they now? Probably not doing very well because they never learned to try hard. Like the people who maybe like pulled a 60 are probably doing, maybe not phenomenally, but they're probably doing like waves better than the people who just never tried.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's given to you, if it just happens, you're never gonna like appreciate it. You're never gonna like polish it as much. You're just gonna be like, oh hey look, it's just this is how it is, and like you take it for granted,
and you end up on Twitter confusing a lot of people,
or in a white Batman costume.
being turned into a human being.
White Batman costumes of Kanye West sweating. Anyways, back to M. Night Shyamalan. I think he's on a recurve, guys. He made 2 good movies. He's going to make a shitload of bad movies, and then he's going to make 2 more good movies.
Someone doesn't make like 2 good movies and then do nothing good with their career for over a decade.
Look at the stats on like his directing. It's literally on a plane going downwards, and then it slowly.
Well, how do you measure that? How do you measure quality?
If like the percentage,
actually,
like, review totals.
he's right.
Oh, from reviews.
If you go on Rotten Tomatoes and look at all of his movies, it's a downward thing with his lowest point being Last Airbender.
I knew.
Then after Earth,
okay, it's going back up. I'm telling
and now
you.
it's going
Could
back
you be
up.
fair with me for a second though? The Last Airbender. Absolutely anything you do after that is going to be worlds better.
I still can't watch it. I can't watch past the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Well, if Shamhammer's back on this recurve, what's he doing next? I don't even know what he's doing next.
The Shyamalama Ding Dong.
Okay.
Well, in all seriousness, does he actually have anything in production? Do we know? Has
Probably.
Hollywood finally told him to just fucking stop?
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with him right now, but if he... Holy fuck. Now I just know his next movie's gonna like win Best Picture at the Oscars.
No.
No.
Then.
No. His
Couple
next
more.
2 movies still have to be pretty rotten.
Yeah.
Actually,
But they have to be progressively good.
No.
They have to get slowly better.
Okay.
No, his movies over the next 15 years have
Over
to
the next
be
15
shit.
Okay.
And then he'll have 2 that win Best Picture.
But you have to think about it this way, okay? Let's say you do any job, okay, and you're good at it for like a week, okay? You're amazing. You do wonders with your job for 2 weeks. Then you're shitty at it for 15 years, and people still have this weird hope in you. And then there's people like you, Sam, who say you're on a recurve, and my job at McDonald's, I'm going to stop burning the burgers or something after 15... I don't know.
Why are you still working at McDonald's after 15 years?
Hey, it happens to people. It's actually a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm not making fun of people who work at McDonald's and they depend on that. But I'm just saying, if you're
Well, like,
bad at that job,
if
any
you've
job,
been burning burgers for 15 years,
Seriously.
then you shouldn't expect people to have this faith in you.
Yeah, no, I don't actually have that. It's just a joke. I like to
Okay.
come back to every now and then.
But it's technically happening. If his next movie scores higher than a 4, shit, you're 1 movie closer to being in a curve.
You might become the prophet of the Shyamalan. Like that's the
If
only
he actually does that, I swear to God.
the only thing you can predict accurately in the future is M. Night Shyamalan related things.
It's my superpower.
It's the one singularity.
Guys, what if M. Night Shyamalan saw this coming the entire time?
What
if
He's been making bad movies on purpose.
What if he has like all these plans laid out for the movies coming out over 30 years, starting with The Sixth Sense, getting as low as The Last Airbender, and then pulling out into his next 15 years of
I'd
movies.
fucking hate him, say cut out all those middle movies and just give the start and the end. Like, why would you bother with the rest? Just don't. Just take a 15-year break.
But like maybe he wants us to lose
faith in him.
lose faith in him.
Well, then at that point,
so then his movies that come out and win Best Picture in 15 years from now, they're gonna be underhyped.
No, at that point I'll hate him because because if he's doing all of this intentionally,
Yeah,
then he's
exactly.
the ultimate dick in society.
No,
And we
it's
have filmmakers like Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, Steven Spielberg, who are actually putting out shit constantly
Pumping out
that's really,
quality.
and they do it year after year. And then you have Shamhammer's like, well, you know what? I made some really good movies. People are just going to pay me anyway for 15 years until they lose hope in me. And when they start to lose hope in me, maybe I'll do something good again. Like,
He's the reason
What?
extraterrestrials
Like-
haven't contacted us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what are we at? 55.
Yeah. I guess you could say it was all twist in the end.
God fucking damn.
His whole career is the ultimate twist.
was a twist.
I hate you so much.
It sort of is. It sort of is. Like, I remember you can still find articles online. Like, people were comparing him to, like, Spielberg, like, back during the Sixth Sense days. And they were like, this is the next great filmmaker, guys. Get ready for the hammer. And
And then he dropped the hammer.
he dropped the hammer right onto Hollywood.
Because what were... I thought he had 3, but I know he had 2 big movies. It was Sixth Sense, Invincible, and then I thought there was a third. And
No,
then he just
it was Sixth Sense and Unstoppable.
kinda- Sorry, Unstoppable.
And then it just
And then it was just
Shit.
downhill, and then he did The Happening.
yeah.
Man, I love The Happening just because that one scene with the friggin' lawnmower.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
it's
guys,
creative.
guys.
My favorite
Best
stuff was
lawn.
superfluous cough syrup. That was my cough syrup because she was pretty. I'm talking superfluous cough syrup. Thanks,
Guys.
Marky Mark.
Guys, best lawnmower scene ever. Hobo with a shotgun.
Haven't seen.
Oh,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
oh.
I still think it's Edward Scissorhands, but I don't know.
Wait, what?
There's a
Lawnmower scene,
in
Edward
the
Scissorhands.
Yeah, it wasn't there a scene. It wasn't really even a scene. It was like a part of a scene where I think it was like part of a montage or something. He was just like cutting the lawn and people were looking at him weird. But that's the first lawnmower scene that popped into my head, and that was actually an alright movie. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good movie.
Well,
how many, can you think of any lawnmower scenes off the top of your head?
Yeah.
a hobo with
Oh,
a
yeah,
shotgun
me too.
was okay.
Lawnmower scenes.
You know that one movie with Keanu
Next
Reeves
podcast.
where lawnmower scenes the podcast. No, it's that one movie with Keanu Reeves where he's chasing after these bank robbers and then he finds out it's been his friend the entire time. He takes off the mask. There's one scene where he's almost getting his face shoved into a lawnmower.
Okay.
Lawnmower scene.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I consider that. I guess it's a lawnmower scene. I'm just talking about people mowing the lawns, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Listen, that doesn't count as a lawnmower scene.
You
Has to
know
be
what?
actively on the lawn.
It's
We could do that with The Blind Side. There's one scene where the dad there is just sitting on a lawnmower saying, "Have a good day at school, guys."
What?
Well, you remember
He's
that
on a
specific
he's
detail
on a
of the last time.
lawnmower.
lawnmower scenes aren't really lawnmower scenes. They're just parts of other scenes. But
Doesn't Waterboy, doesn't he ride like a ride on lawnmower? to
He
school
does,
every
yeah,
day?
yeah.
That's
Okay, so
lawnmower scenes, guys.
a lot of lawnmower scenes. Yeah. What have we descended to?
I don't know. We're getting to
We're
that
at around
point.
an hour.
Yeah.
Almost there. 2 more minutes. No, 1 more minute of conversation.
One more minute of conversation, then we can end this, and then move on to whatever else we're doing tonight.
Let's talk about how we want this fucking I
let's-
speak.
I know exactly
I
what you're
speak
saying.
Let's
English.
talk about how the Monster Hunter version of Samus is still a better version of Samus than the other M version of Samus.
Well,
Yeah.
know, see, in Monster Hunter, she's got, what, I don't even, I saw the gun and then I kind of looked at it and I was like, this is cool. Moving on.
It's just, that's my only real comment, is it's more faithful to the actual series and the character
Yeah.
than other M entirely.
The
Yeah.
character
I
definitely.
didn't
has
watch
more
it. Does
depth
her
as
gun
well,
actually
right?
shoot?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like full on Samus and Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because they
she
got the
has
Link
like a-
one too.
Yeah. She's got like a giant cannon thing too.
Yeah. It's
That's
I'm
what's pissing me
guessing
off,
that would be the
About
the-
Nintendo these days, though, is they're
Whole lot of
shoving all
things.
their first party characters into stuff to sell them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting. Actually, this isn't an example, but like we have Mercedes in Mario Kart now, and Link is in Mario Kart, and fuck it.
Just fuck it.
We can just trim out like the middle part where we're like, oh, what do we do?
Well, what are we talking
What
about?
do I do?
This is actually
yeah.
worlds better than our last podcast that we did,
Oh my god, man, that was the worst podcast in all of ever.
which you guys will never hear ever.
Nope, never gonna
But-
see it.
No.
I'm gonna keep that just so I can release it at a later date.
Guys, if you think our podcasts are bad now, just listen to what we almost made you listen to.
Fucking Christ.
Oh man, it was bad.
It wasn't even the topics, it was that everyone was talking over each other and it was just
couldn't-
yelling and it was horrible.
It was
So
very
How many did you
unorganized.
have though?
like 6.
Oh yeah, this might be why too.
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
side conversations going on. It was like, oh.
Yeah, we were having conversations, and then Chris and Brian are over here having a conversation about something
To be
else.
fair, that's Chris. So
Well,
Yeah, I guess. The ultimate anarchist. Our
and
best
also
friend Chris.
it was a
Really,
lot
Chris?
of
No, he's
just
like, I don't give a fuck.
bashing. It was also a lot of just bashing each other.
Yeah, we should on
Like
a lot
we
of stuff. That
we
podcast.
probably spent more time. We probably spent more time
accidentally
bashing
touched
each other than actually talking about stuff.
anyway, we should probably wrap this up.
Yep. Any final words, gentlemen?
We might release our actual podcast 3 at a later date.
Yeah, fuck no.
Well, if
No,
they
no,
this,
no. Like
oh,
2 years from now. This is where we came from. This is
started from
this
oh,
is
now
where we
here.
are.
Okay,
We should have that just playing in the background, just lightly.
just lately.
I'm working on my Deadpool review. It'll be out eventually. Oh my god, I have so little good things to say about that. And
Really?
I was trying so hard. I'm like, I need to be positive. Fuck, I can't. Daniel Way is my least favorite human.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
What else do we have coming up? We have more casual crashers.
I have an
Assault
anime
on
review.
Assault on Arkham review.
Assault on Arkham review.
Nope. My Marduk Scramble review, I'm like 75%
What's the-
done, I want to say. Kind of?
And then we have TV show and
Nothing
movie
positive.
talk.
No.
No,
Yep.
it's only positive. It was a really
What
good-
are we
I think I'm
calling
giving
it?
up on my Gotham review because I have too much shit going on.
Yeah, I don't. Not every episode. Do like a end of the season.
Maybe we'll do like
total
season
review.
reviews for shows or something.
or like start, mid, end, maybe sort of.
Yeah,
thing.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Don't
Like
do
a,
like every episode.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing because I'm getting a mic soon, and I want to do reviews for like Legend of Korra and how to get away with murder and like
Oh.
just a lot of the new shows that have come out.
that
and-
fucking guy, the main protagonist guy in that show. I hate him
fucking guy.
so much. Every like fifth shot they show of this guy, he always looks like he's beyond confused and he has no idea what's going on. Like,
What?
you know the guy I'm talking about? Like
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
He's like, okay, we need to, just so we can put this into the podcast, we need to find a picture of that guy doing that face so
Yeah.
people know what I'm talking about. But he makes this
it
face
should-
I'll pop it in
It
there.
shouldn't be that hard to find because it's literally every 5 seconds.
every 5 seconds he'll make that
and
face.
no, you know what? You know what? I think it's his face. You
I
know
think,
how
yeah,
it's
some
just
people
stuck that
just
way.
have the resting cranky face?
Me.
He has this resting
Surprise face.
bewildered face.
No, like he's always surprised about what's happening
Yeah.
around him. Anyways,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap up this review podcast now. Sam, did you want to conclude it?
Yeah, this has been Your Block Podcast, technically number 3.